Little Johnny comes home from Sunday school with a black eye. His father sees it and says, "Johnny, how many times do I have to tell you not to fight with the other boys?" "But Dad," little Johnny said, "it wasn't my fault. We were all in church saying our prayers. We all stood up, and my teacher in front of me had her dress in the crack of her butt. I reached over and pulled it out. That's when she hit me." "Johnny," the father said, "you don't do those kind of things to women." "Okay," said little Johnny. "I get it. Women don't like that." Sure enough, the very next Sunday, little Johnny came home with the other eye black and blue. Johnny's father said, "Johnny, I thought we had a talk." "But Dad," little Johnny said, "it wasn't my fault. There we were in church saying our prayers. We all stood up, and my teacher in front of us had her dress in the crack of her butt. Then Louis, who was sitting next to me, saw it, and he reached over and pulled it out. Now I know she doesn't like this, so I pushed it back in." This guy walks into a bar and sees a lady sitting alone. He comes over, buys her a drink, they chat for a bit, and he leaves with her to go to her house. They're just having a good time when he hears a noise outside the door, and she says, "It's my husband back for dinner. Quick, hide in the closet." So he does. He's standing in the closet when he hears this little voice. "God, it's dark in here." He looks around, trying to figure out where it's coming from, when he hears it again. "God, it's dark in here." So he quickly whispers, "Shh, who are you?" A thin voice says, "It's my mum and dad there, damn it. It's dark here. I'm scared. I'm going to scream and call Dad." The man whispers back, "No, please don't scream. I'll give you $5 if you don't scream." The little boy replies, "God, it's dark here. I'm very scared. I'm going to scream and call Dad. I'll give you $10 if you don't scream." "God, it's dark in here. I'm really scared. I'm going to scream." The guy says, "Listen, boy, here's $50. That's all I have. Don't shout." "Fine." So the guy waits in the closet until he hears his husband finish dinner, and as soon as he hears the door close, he runs out of the closet, jumps out the window and runs down the street. Later the next day, the husband is shopping with his son at the mall when he sees a bicycle in the window of a toy store and says to his father, "God, I would really like that bike." "Sorry, honey, I can't afford to buy you a bike." And the child says, "It's okay. I can buy it myself. I have $50. The husband takes him aside and asks, "Where did you get $50? "I'll never tell." "You better tell me where you got this money from." "I'll never tell." "You must have done something bad to get this money. I'll take you to church and you can tell the priest how you got this money in confession." So he does. A little boy is in the confessional. The door closes and he says, "God, it's dark in here." And the priest replies, "Let's not start this crap again." A teacher was teaching her second grade class about the government, so for homework that one day, she told her students to ask their parents what the government is. When little Johnny got home that day, he went up to his dad and asked him what the government was. His dad thought for a while and answered, "Look at it this way. I'm the president. Your mum is Congress. Your maid is the workforce. You are the people. And your baby brother is the future." "I still don't get it," responded the little Johnny. "Why don't you sleep on it then? Maybe you'll understand it better," said the dad. "Okay then, good night," said little Johnny, went off to bed. In the middle of the night, little Johnny was awakened by his baby brother's crying. He went to his baby brother's crib and found that his baby brother had taken a crap in his diaper. So little Johnny went to his parents' room to get help. When he got to his parents' bedroom, he looked through the keyhole to check if his parents were asleep. Through the keyhole, he saw his mum loudly snoring, but his dad wasn't there. So he went to the maid's room. When he looked through the maid's room keyhole, he saw his dad having sex with his maid. Little Johnny was surprised, but then he just realized something and thinks aloud, "Oh, Now I understand the government. The president is screwing the workforce. Congress is fast asleep. Nobody cares about the people. And the future is full of shit. One day, a spaceship landed in a farmer's field, and a Martian man and his wife got out and introduced themselves to the farmer and his wife. As a token of his friendship, the farmer immediately invited the Martian couple in his home and begged them to stay for the evening and have dinner, so the Martians agreed. Later that night, the Martian man explained how, on their planet, it was customary to swap partners as a token of friendship. The farmer, not wanting to offend his alien neighbors, readily agreed. The Martian man took the farmer's wife into one bedroom, while the farmer took the Martian woman into another. They had been having sex for about an hour when the Martian man asked the farmer's wife, "Well, how do you like having sex with a Martian? How does it feel?" The farmer's wife replied, "It needs to be a little bigger around." So the Martian man twisted his right ear and presto, his penis became bigger around. About an hour later, the Martian man asked the farmer's wife again, "How does it feel now?" The farmer's wife responded, "I think it needs to be a little longer." So the Martian man twisted his left ear and presto, his penis became longer. The next morning, after their alien neighbors had left, the farmer and his wife were having coffee at the breakfast table, and the farmer asked his wife, "How was the Martian man?" To this, the farmer's wife replied, "Fine." "And how about the Martian woman?" The farmer replied, "That damn bitch yanked on my fucking ears all night long." To prepare for a big date, a young man went on top of the roof of his apartment building in order to get a little tan for himself. Not wanting any tan lines to show, he sunbathed in the nude. Unfortunately, the young man fell asleep while on the roof and managed to get sunburned on his tool of trade. Being very determined, the young man decided not to miss his date because it was with a hot blonde. So he decided to put some lotion on his manhood and wrapped it in gauze, feeling this should resolve his painful situation. The blonde showed up for the date at his apartment, and the young man treated her to a home, cooked dinner, after which they went into the living room to watch a movie. During the movie, however, the young man's sunburn started acting up. After several minutes of extreme discomfort, he asked to be excused, went to the kitchen, and poured a tall, cold glass of milk. He then placed his sunburned member in the milk and experienced immediate relief of his pain. The blonde, however, wondering what he was doing, wandered into the kitchen to see him with his manhood immersed in a glass of milk. Baffled, the blonde exclaimed, "So, that's how you load those things?" My friends, if you want to watch other funny jokes, subscribe to the channel.